Greetings, Otaku Faithful. Thank you for joining me again this week. Once again, it's Larry Williams, OAW Commander-in-Chief, and I'm here to bring you all yet again another Arrow episode review right here on Otaku Assemble. Weekly, as always, I'm here to bring you the latest in this week's Arrow episode reviews, and this is my review of Season 1, Episode 14, entitled The Odyssey. Now, finally, ladies and gentlemen, we are back on track. General thoughts on this week's episode? Damn good fucking episode. I would even, look, anybody in the comments below who wants to go 20 rounds, I would even argue probably the best episode to date. Probably. But no, this episode right here, my nigga, this episode right here, this episode is the shit, man. That's all I'm saying. No, that's not all I'm saying, but that's what I'm saying. Episode was fucking fantastic. Fantastic. Alright, so where do I want to start off with this episode? Do I just want to... see, that's the thing. I'm so excited. I don't know where to even start. Okay, I will say why I like the episode so much and why I think the episode works. Okay, many of you all who keep up with my Arrow episode reviews, you'll remember that early on I made the comment of how I liked that every episode we were getting little snippets of what happened on the island instead of getting just a full episode, a full flashback episode showing us what happened, right? Well, the thing is, at the end of last week's episode, with the introduction of Slade and with the introduction of an objective on the island, because remember, up to this point, there hasn't really been an objective on the island. It's usually, up until now, it's been shit that has happened to Oliver. At no point on the island has it been something like Oliver is taking control of the situation and he has an objective that he needs to achieve on the island. Now, of course, Oliver has done a couple of things, you know, when he took out the soldier he ran into a couple of episodes ago. Okay, when he went back for Yao Fei. Okay, but for the most part, that's it. And I can't help but, it just felt like Oliver, okay, like this stuff was just happening to him. Now we finally get to a point on the island where Oliver is being proactive, where he has a set goal. This is what we need to achieve. This is what we need to do. This is how we're going to do it. And Slade's the one who's, pretty much administering said goal. What I'm saying is, the point for me bringing that up is, if they were going to dedicate any one episode to mostly what occurred on the island, this is the perfect episode to do that. This was the perfect. And then also consider this. Consider the placement of this episode in the season. Okay, we already know this is probably the point, as of right now, this is the point of the most tension. This is the point of the most suspense on the island, correct? But don't forget, what's going on in the real world? Oliver just confronted his mother after the evidence that Diggle picked up on last week. So not only, once again, the writers did a great job at mirroring what happened on the island with what's going on in the present day. And the same thing occurs where in the present day, we are at the height of our tension. We are at the utmost suspense because now shit's finally coming to a head. So and for fuck's sake, man, she shot Oliver. She shot her son and didn't even know it was him. Oliver got shot point blank. The man was dying. So yeah, we get a scenario at the peak of tension, at the peak of suspense. Oliver gets shot. Well, guess what? Oliver has to recover from a wound. So it makes sense that he would spend this episode pretty much on the table. Now is the time to dedicate a whole episode to what happened on that island. Also, Felicity now knows the secret. We got some background information on Diggle, and we finally understand why it is that he decided to team up with Oliver for Oliver's crusade. We got that backstory about what happened when he was serving, you know, about the kid that he killed. So now we got that, and I mean, perfect timing. Yeah, This was as good as a time as any to dedicate the majority of the episode to being on the island. Because like I said, the one thing I didn't want to see was just, I didn't want to see a Lost episode where it was like, oh, we're just stuck on the island type thing. No, we finally got, and we got action. Oh my God, the fight between Slade and Bill Wintergreen, holy crud, man, that thing was awesome. And then when Oliver finally learned the trick, the move Slade showed him, how to take the gun away from the dude and flip him over and shit. And I loved how, when Oliver pulled the gun on him, he didn't shoot him, he just knocked his ass out with the butt of the gun, man. Like, can't say enough good things about this fucking episode. I will say though, as amped up as I was for this episode, I was disappointed with the ending, and this is what I mean. Number one, Felicity turning down Oliver's offer to join the team. She said she would help him out, but that's because she wants to bring Walter back home. So it's not really like she wants to do it, that she wants to do it herself. It's just more of she wants to make sure that Walter's okay. And because she knows that Oliver's on that trail, she's pretty much figuring, if I stick around, if I help him out, he'll bring Walter back home. Okay. What I'm saying is, it's disappointing that she wouldn't just be all gung-ho for it, but at the same time, her reluctancy, but the willingness to help out anyway, just to help out her boss, who was all, like she said, and she even mentioned why. She said because Walter was always nice to her. He was always kind to her, So yeah, that does make sense. And it's a lot more realistic when you think about it. However, I just found out that the actress playing Felicity is going to be a season regular for season 2. And in case you guys haven't noticed, in case you guys didn't know, I think it was announced on Monday that Arrow got picked up for a second season. So anyway, so I know she's going to be a season regular next season. I'm hoping she joins the team. Another thing was Oliver is more adamant than ever about not investigating his mom, which I can understand why, but at the same time, what I'm saying is I don't want Oliver's position, his sternness about not investigating his mom, to leave him open for a future assault. So pretty much what I'm saying is, I don't think that Oliver is acting naive, and I don't think the writers are portraying him in that light. But I do think there is a sense of self-denial that Oliver is, exhibiting, which could put him in a compromising position later on in the story. You see what I'm saying? Oliver has shown his Achilles heel in last week's episode, and definitely by the end of this week's episode. We now know what Oliver's weakness is. And what I'm saying is, I don't want Oliver to be so bullheaded in his decision that someone exploits that weakness. But I got a feeling I just got a feeling that that's what's going to happen, because you got to remember, whoever is in charge, when you talk about like the organization with Tommy's dad and all that stuff, whoever they're working for, that person is going to come to blows with Oliver. And Maura's going to get caught in the middle. There's no way around it, because that's Oliver's connection to whoever she's working for. So she's going to get caught in the middle. And I'm pretty sure that if that person is as diabolical as they should be, if that person is going to be the big bad of this series, or at least this season, then yeah, they are almost going to use Maura against Oliver. They're going to use her to hurt Oliver, especially if they find out who Oliver is. If they find out that Oliver is Arrow, game over. And I got, it'd be real interesting though, because like I said, going back to Year's End, when Oliver met up with the Dark Archer, who was really Tommy's dad, man, like, he knew how to get in Oliver's head, and I think it would be really interesting if he was the one who found out, that Oliver is Arrow instead of the big bad finding it out. I think that would be really interesting, especially if Tommy's dad chooses to keep that information away from his employer. That would open up so many possibilities. But like I said, all in all, damn good episode. The writing was on point. Oh man, is it just me, or am I the only one who like is really paying attention to the dialogue? Did you guys pick up on the dialogue between Diggle and Felicity in this week's episode? That shit was really good. Really, like I'm talking about their witty lines were on point. When Diggle went into the backstory and his motives, it was on point. When Felicity started talking about herself, everything was on point. What they were saying about Oliver, it all tied in. That shit was really good. Really good. So anyway, so all in all, damn good episode. This show is quickly becoming, I was going to say slowly, but no, it's quickly becoming one of my favorite episodes. Favorite series. It's becoming one of my favorite series airing right now. And I'm stoked that it has a full season, and I'm stoked that it has a season 2. This is good. This is good. This is good. So that's going to do it for this week's Arrow review. In the comments below, let me know your thoughts on this week's episode. Also, I want to hear some of your guys' theories, especially if you guys are picking up on some of the stuff I'm picking up on. And I would like to hear some responses about the theory I mentioned earlier, involving pretty much Oliver, his attitude towards his mom, Tommy's dad, the Dark Archer and stuff, and then of course whoever the big bad really is, all that stuff. I want to hear your guys' thoughts on that theory, because like I said, a lot of things. Also, man, I want to know what happened to Slade. Like, we know he was he on the, I don't know, we don't know what happened to Slade. And then Yao Fei's daughter and that fucking tattoo. Now see, when I saw the tattoo, I immediately thought Roulette, the DC comic books villain. I thought Roulette, but then Oliver had the same tattoo. So now I'm like, okay, what are they doing with this? You see what I'm saying? Where's this going? So who knows, guys? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Keep an eye out for it later this week. I got Discussion of the Week and the OAW podcast. Also, guys, don't forget Totems issue 1 now available. Links are in the description box below. With that being said, this has been Larry Williams, OAW Commander-in-Chief. I'm signing off. Until next time, peace.